Mr. Brendan, welcome. I'm here with SPARC. Who knows SPARC? You all should know SPARC. You're visiting the here. You're here for the acting, right? That's what we're doing today. We are doing a little acting exercise via the virtual platform, given the pandemic lifestyle we're living in. Yes, I'm actually grateful enough to be here in the building. We don't get to be here a lot anymore. We're doing all of our stuff virtual and working from home. But due to having everyone completely out of the building, I could come in here and record a little class for us. It is January 2021. Thank you. I am ready for the new year. I hope you are too. And I hope we're going to have a little bit of fun here and maybe learn a couple things about what it is about acting or making decisions or building characters or all those great things that we're doing here at SPARC. If you don't know about SPARC, we're the Performing Arts School in Richmond. So if you're interested in classes or productions or getting your training in and learning how to be a better vocalist or actor or want to pursue your technical abilities, we have lots and lots of opportunities here, all the way from kiddos to 14 to kiddos to 18. I'm not 18, for those of you who were confused on that. Anyways, we're going to start with one of my favorite games in the entire world. It's called Magic Rock. And for Magic Rock, I need a little bit of you to help me, right? So we're going to learn a quick phrase and then we're going to repeat it together. And as we repeat it, we're going to create all sorts of fun things. I find the best way to put myself into a new environment is jump right in. So here I am. I'm going to ask you to jump right in, even if it's something you've never done before. If it feels a little bit weird, that probably means it's a good thing. You'll learn as you continue to do acting and your path and whatever it may be. Taking risks is all about making smart choices, right? So today we're going to take big, bold risks and see how those choices feel inside of our bodies. And hopefully we can replicate those when necessary when we're creating different characters. All right, so Magic Rock. We're all going to say, Magic Rock, Magic Rock. What should I be? Let's repeat that. Magic Rock, Magic Rock. What should I be? And then we're all going to continue to say, I'm going to be A. I'm going to be A. And then I will name something that we will just turn into. We're not going to think about it. We're not going to be like, oh, what does that look like? What does that feel like? We're just going to jump in and try our best, right? Interesting thing about this is, typically when we're in a class, we're surrounded by our classmates. And sometimes that makes us a little more anxious or nervous. And sometimes that makes us feel a little bit more bold, right? So I'm hoping that whatever it typically makes you in a class environment, that at home or wherever you may be right now, you're feeling a little bit more bold, right? You might have a brother or a sister or a mom staring at you and say, what is going on? Say, Mom, I'm doing my thing. All right? So here we go. Magic Rock. Magic Rock. What should I be? I'm going to be a chicken. And 1, 2, 3. Freeze. Magic Rock. I'm going to make a rock, right? Okay. Nice. I'm going to do more and more, bigger and bolder. Magic Rock. Magic Rock. What should I be? I'm going to be a wizard. In 1, 2, 3. Just a bit of this here. Maybe a little bit of that. Oh, yes. It smells like victory. Yes, let me take a sip. Freeze. Magic Rock. Magic Rock. Magic Rock. What should I be? I'm going to be a robot. And 1, 2, 3. Crazy. Magic rock. Ah! Magic rock. Magic rock. What should I be? I'm gonna be a bouncy ball. And 1, 2, 3. Bang, 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 bang. Freeze! Magic rock! Magic rock. Magic rock. What should I be? I'm gonna be a dinosaur. In 1, 2, 3. Magic rock. Magic rock. Magic rock. What should I be? I'm gonna be a falling leaf in 1, 2, 3. Freeze! Magic rock. Magic rock. Magic rock. What should I be? I'm going to be a perfect student standing in neutral in 1, 2, 3. Neutral position is when we are kind of got our feet directly underneath our knees, which are directly underneath our hips, which are directly underneath my shoulders, which are relaxed and back. And I can take nice big breaths. And I'm standing in a very calm position where I'm ready to receive information and I'm ready to give information. Acting is all about listening, and it's all about reacting to others, right? So if I'm in a neutral position, I can get what someone gives me and then give it right back, right? Okay, so speaking of neutral, we're going to work on something that helps me a lot when I'm creating characters. This is tempo, right? So what I want you to do, whatever space you've got right now, I've got a 10 foot by 10 foot square. I want you to just walk around the space in a very neutral position, in a very calm, normal pace that you might have, right? If you don't have a lot of room or any room at all, you can take just walk in place. You can take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. You can walk in a circle. If you've got a little bit bigger room, space in your where you are right now, feel free to use it. Roam about the cabin, okay? So, again, we're gonna stand nice neutral because that's where we're gonna start from when we're walking, right? You're just gonna kind of listen to what I'm saying as we walk, and hopefully some of this stuff will start to make sense. So, begin walking in a nice neutral pace, right? I'm not doing anything interesting with my arms or my neck or my head or my feet. I'm just walking how I might walk. I'm not going in any specific direction, but just at a normal pace for me. And I'm going to call this pace a level 5, right? We're all familiar with the scale. The bottom is a 0, the top is a 10, okay? So we're at a level 5 as we're walking in this pace. So for example, if I said, let's walk at a level 3, my pace would change. Nothing else changed right now. I'm still walking in a very clean, neutral, not doing anything out of the ordinary, just walking a little bit slower and seeing what that feels like. Let's walk back at a 5 again. Again, just our normal pace. And this time, let's walk at a level 7. So I'm definitely walking faster right now. My focus has changed because I'm having to move quicker and make decisions quicker. And back to a 5. Sometimes it's hard to move back and forth. So we're just kind of getting the hang of it right now, okay? All right, we'll do a quick one. We'll do quick 2 more, and then we'll add some things to it, all right? So again, we're at level 5. We're walking neutral. And I want us to go to a level 10, but we are not going to run. We're going to continue to walk, but we're going to do it at what that feels at level 10. Are you ready? Go. I'm very fast. Just walking like this has changed how I feel and probably how I look. And certainly we're going to stop and go to a level 1. Which also feels drastically different. Level 1, I can hear my breath. I'm very calm, moving about the space. And come back to where you started. Stand neutral. Let's take a breath in together. So tempo often can feel, just immediately make us feel differently. I know that when I was walking fast, I mentioned I felt frantic, I felt confused, I felt very almost like I was being chased or scared of some sort. And when I was walking slow, for me, I felt very methodical or thoughtful almost, like one foot in front of the other foot felt very careful, right? So when you're playing a different character, they might be making choices based off of how their characteristics are. If I'm a careful person, I'm probably not milling about frantically, right? I'm rather milling about, which is casual and calculated and calm. All right, now we're going to add something to this, right? It's called leading with some sort of part of our body, right? And this is also used for making big, bold choices. And then often we bring them back. We see how it feels. We see where it fits. We see how it resonates within the character. And then once we've kind of got like the big picture of it, we may take off some of the edges to soften the character a little bit. So we're going to be very exaggerate. We're going to exaggerate a lot right now with our motion or our movement, just like we were there as well with our pace. So we're going to start by just walking at a level 5, right? This is our normal pace. We're neutral again. But this time, instead of staying neutral, I'm going to call out some part of our body that we are going to start to lead with. That means that is going to be pulling us. Whatever section of our body I say is going to be in front of everything else if we're walking right now. Hopefully right now I'm kind of neutral, which means I'm very straight and nothing's really leading too much. I'm sure something is, but I can't really feel it. Now it's time to kind of exaggerate one of those parts. So let's start by leading with our nose. I'm going to stay on level 5. Normal walk, kind of, except now my nose is out in front. I don't know it's you, but that makes me feel a little bit kind of lost, hopeless. And if I'm feeling lost and hopeless, I feel like I want to drop down to a 2. And immediately I feel like I'm in some other character than myself. Shake that off, back to a 5, normal walk, neutral. Now let's try leading with our knees. What a weird one to lead with. Let's try it, okay? Normal 5, right? Another 5. Got my knees leading me. This is a very interesting one, and I'm very exaggerating this right now, so hopefully it's kind of reading in a way that makes you feel a little bit weird, but it might also make sense for something, right? I might be clogging my way through mud. I might be a cowboy who just got off his horse, and I can't quite stand up tall, so I gotta use my knees to bend. Right? What else might I be doing if I have my knees leaning forward? Let's see. Let's try this and see what it feels like. Let's try knees forward, but walking at a level 8. Ooh, this is interesting. I got my knees going. I'm trying to move quickly. I kind of feel a little silly, almost like a clown. And let's come back to a nice neutral. Take a deep breath. And shake that off. It's weird, right? Finding different parts of our body, having them lead, right? We naturally lead with something and we don't even probably notice it because it's our normal walk. And then when we change our pace, that can also change exactly how we feel and how we may be reacting in some moment. Okay, so when we're making characters, kind of doing some building blocks here, we've got a couple things that we have right in our tool belts, right from the get-go to create them. We've got our bodies, right? How we hold them, how we move them, and we have our voices, which we haven't talked about, right? We may have said a little bit of words during Magic Rock, and maybe we vocalized some things for the dinosaur. I certainly did. A hard time not. But we have our voices, right? How we use our voices on stage or in class is a big part of what people's experience are and how they read our characters. So I might talk with a gravelly voice. Or I might talk with a very soft voice. And this, if you're not even looking at me, it gives you a different perspective probably on what you think you are about to see or what you are seeing. So we have our voices to play with. We have our bodies to play with. And the last one, we have our brains, right? This is the golden nugget of them all. This allows us to make incredibly big choices and not care if other people think they're weird, because they probably are weird. But what we want to see is heightened reality. We want to see truthfulness. We want to see honesty. But when I come to the theater, I'm also hoping to see something bigger than life. And I'm hoping to see that bigger than life circumstance done and cemented in truth. So we kind of used our brains, whether you knew it or not, by jumping into those characters in the beginning of Magic Rock. I said something, you didn't think about it, you just went. We just did our bodies by moving around and exploring tempo and pace and how we lead with different things. And right now, we're going to work on some vocals, some how to use our voice in different ways. So first part, we got to learn something. We got to learn our script. And then we're going to put some movement and some characters to it. And we're going to make some big, bold choices. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. I hope I'm ready. All right, here's it. This is a tongue twister, but we're going to kind of continue it and transform it into like a little bit of a script. All right, so the first thing we got to do is learn it. Repeat after me. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears. 3 baby brown bears. 4 rabbit running hares. 4 rabbit running hares. Let's try that together. I'll give you some simple movements just to help you memorize it. This isn't going to be used too much later, but help us memorize it. So 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears. 4 rabbit running hares. Good. So far, so good. We will keep going then. We're on 5, if I remember correctly. 5 fierce, flame-fighting firefighters. 5 fierce, flame-fighting firefighters. For this one, let's grab ourselves a hose and pretend we are putting out a monstrous fire. 5 fierce, flame-fighting firefighters. 6 simple Simons selling salt in Siam. 6 simple Simons selling salt in Siam. Should we try that from 1? Ready? 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears. 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fierce flame-fighting firefighters. 6 simple Simons selling salt in Siam. Good, we're moving on. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. Let's say that one again. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. And for this one, we just kind of skip in place, like we're hi-ho, we're a sailor on the ship. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. Good. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. From the top, 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares, 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters, 6 simple Simon, Sally, Salt, and Siam. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty ninny-ots. 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty ninny-ots. Here's the last one. It's a mouthful. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. Whoa, we need to do that one. Let's break it down. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks. Just that part. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. Can we try this from the very beginning? I think we can. Here we go. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares, 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters, 6 simple Simon, Sally, Salt, and Siam. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty ninny-ots. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. That's our script. That's just the bare bones. You walk in a rehearsal, they hand you the script, and you say, these are all my lines, I'll learn them. Hopefully, you just learn them. The second part of the acting process when you're starting to create a character and after you've got your learning your lines and whatnot is to kind of figure out your characteristics of your said character, right? So you're going to play with tempo, you're going to play with choices, you're going to play with your voice, and all sorts of things. So right now I want to bring up a quick kind of characteristic chart that might help you, and that we're going to help, certainly going to help us during this next little piece. And what I have right here is just different characteristic traits, right? Kind, forgetful, honest, bold, curious, picky, happy, lazy, brave, picky. Is picky on there twice? It is. Playful, cruel, adventurous, timid, arrogant, imaginative, competitive, loud, impatient, and greedy. We're going to pick one trait per line. And some of them I may try to couple them up to hopefully help my brain a little bit. But we're going to try to pick one trait for one line. It's going to be if we were playing 5 or 6 completely different characters in this one little piece of dialogue that we're working with right now. Okay, so if you can remember, 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks, 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares, 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters, 6 simple Simon selling salt and Siam, 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs, 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator, 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty ninny yachts, and 10 two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. Before we start, I know you're like, Tallahassee's not in Tennessee, Mr. Brennan. It's in Florida. Florida starts with an F. We can't just, sometimes we have to just use our imagination. Okay, so thank you for allowing us to play with some of those things. Hopefully you haven't come across any of those things, right? So we got our list. I'm going to pick a handful right here, and I want you to kind of in your brain right now, pick a handful of things that you want to try, right? And we'll do them one at a time so that we kind of get a nice feel on how this looks and feels for us, right? Let's see. Okay. First one hip hen and a couple of ducks. So I'm going to try forgetful for 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks because it seems natural that I keep forgetting things, all right? 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks, right? That's just a characteristic trait I'm putting into some dialogue right now. So the first one's forgetful. The second one, let's try 3 baby brown bears and 4 rabbit running hares with curious. So I'm going from forgetful to curious. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. Okay, we got 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters. I'm going to try impatient. Impatient for 5. 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters. Trying to be impatient. I want that fire out. Let's from the get-go. Forgetful, curious, impatient. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters. Let's try imaginative on 6 simple Simon selling salt and Siam. Okay, imaginative. 6 simple Simon selling salt and Siam. 7, let's go with loud. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. All right, from the get-go, we've got forgetful, curious, impatient, imaginative, and loud. All right, and we're not even done. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears, 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters. 6 simple Simon selling salt and Siam. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. All right, we're getting there. 8, let's try timid. That was one of our words, right? Timid, which is another word for shy. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 9. Let's do cruel for this one. It feels good, right? 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty ninny yachts. From the top, forgetful, curious, impatient, imaginative, loud, timid, cruel. All right, here we go. 1 hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears. 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fierce running fighting firefighters. 6 simple Simons selling salt in Siam. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty nidiots. Okay, we got our big one. It's 10. It's 10. Let's go competitive. Competitive. So if we're in sports, we are competing, right? Against the other team. With your teammates or an ensemble, you're working together. But we're going to compete right now for 10. So let's just try 10 because it's a big one. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. Oh my gosh, not now, no. Okay, sorry for the interruption. We're gonna keep going. So, forgetful, curious, impatient, imaginative, loud, timid, cruel, competitive. Try the whole thing, right? So we've got the whole character choices all mixed up with how we're using our voice, how it might feel in our body. Our pace and tempo might change as we are going from one character to the other. Typically, you're not playing 6 or 7 characters in 3-4 lines, but your intention might change. And if your characteristics are grounded, then how your intention, which means what you want or what you're trying to get in said dialogue or said scene, might change or be influenced, right? So this is abstract what we're doing, but hopefully it can help in the long run, right? All right, the whole thing, top to bottom. One hip hen and a couple of ducks. 3 baby brown bears. 4 rabbit running hares. 5 fierce flame fighting firefighters. 6 simple Simons selling salt in Siam. 7 silly sailors singing sea salty songs. 8 elongated elephants elevated on the edge of an escalator. 9 nasty ninnies nibbling on 9 nasty idiots. 10 two-ton, two-tone transcontinental trucks with trailers traveling from Tyler, Texas to Tallahassee, Tennessee on 22 terrible tires. Big breath in and come back to neutral. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a lot. That was a lot. I know it was a lot. I have a feeling you did a great job. I felt like I was doing the best I could, giving the environment I'm in, and that's all we can do. Our environments are all different right now, and that might allow us to sometimes be really loud and expressive, and sometimes that might call for us being more quiet. But it never stops our imagination.
or our brains. And I find the more I let my imagination go and run, the more confident I am on the next time it's time to open that brain. It's a muscle. Creativity is a muscle, just like these giant biceps, right? They don't get giant without my curls, my reps. My imagination doesn't get explosive without practicing. So I hope to see you more often, and hopefully even in person next time. But I thank you for any time that you've given today to let your imagination run free. And hopefully you feel just the slightest bit more confidence when creating the character. They're hard, and when you're watching TV, it looks easy. Nothing's easy, right? It all takes practice, and it all takes hard work.